KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by
Pacific Points, Do More, Get More, and Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Hello, good morning. It is almost lunchtime, which means that for the next 30 minutes, you are going to hang out with, I don't want to say me, because it's us. We have a cast of literally 100 people. It's maybe Joe Sir and Daniel and Mike in the back and Santa Rita Pete somewhere. He's probably like in the back, like washing his truck. But there are so many of you helping to make this show the success that it is, and we can't wait to get to you. So let's go.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
All right, we have some news to bring to you, including the search is on for a new president over at the University of Guam, my alma mater. And properties in the tropics, our friends at Remax Diamond Realty are taking you around the island to check out another amazing property that should be your home. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to give you details to an upcoming two-day Indigenous Language Summit being hosted by Comisión y Finutsumoru. And we are going to close out with the day from the entertainment beat. But first, some very, very important news we want to pass along to you as a Memphis church was filled with both anger and grief as mourners gathered to remember Tyree Nichols. Here is the very latest from the mainland.
Heartbreak at a Memphis church. Mourners packed inside to grieve Tyree Nichols, a man his family describes as a beautiful soul.
Tyree was a beautiful person. And for this to happen to him is just unimaginable.
Vice President Kamala Harris was among the guests braving an ice storm to honor Nichols' life.
This is a family that lost their son at the hands and the feet of people who had been charged with keeping them safe.
The 29-year-old died in January, 3 days after a brutal beating by police.
We don't see the Memphis Police Department Scorpion Unit extend 1 ounce of humanity during that 1 hour and 7-minute video. Ask your neighbor, why couldn't they see the humanity in Tyree?
Tyree Nichols' family has said they want this funeral to be a celebration of the young man that they loved. But in the background are the latest troubling revelations about the police officers charged with his murder. Of the 5 former officers charged with Nichols' murder, 4 of them had previous job reprimands or suspensions.
You don't fight gangs by becoming 5 armed men against an unarmed man. That ain't the police, that's punks.
Federal action on police reform has been stalled in Congress, but activists hope Nichols' legacy will inspire lawmakers to move forward.
All right, moving on in our show, the National Weather Service Guam, our friends over there in Teej and Landon and crew, have issued several advisories in effect. So here is what's going on with Mother Nature. A high risk of rip currents remains in effect for Guam and the CNMI through Saturday along east-facing reefs. Rip currents can sweep through even the best swimmers away from the shore into deeper waters. Please swim in a direction following the shoreline, face the shore, and if you are indeed in distress, please alert people that you are in need of help. Also, a small craft advisory remains in effect for the coastal waters of Guam and the NMI from 6 tonight until 5 p.m. Saturday. Inexperienced mariners, especially those operating smaller vessels, should avoid boating in those waters. Well, as I was saying, and this kind of alarmed our guests that are joining me on the KUAM couch, we'll get to them in a few moments, but the University of Guam's Board of Regents has officially begun the search for what will be the institution's 12th president. The current president, Dr. Thomas Kreis, as you may know, will retire at the end of his 5-year term in August. UOG says potential candidates may have a terminal degree from a recognized institution of learning, 5 years of experience in senior academic leadership, knowledge and understanding of the people of Guam and Micronesia, as well as having demonstrated experience on working on islands or geographically isolated communities, among other requirements. You can check out our website to see how to apply if you would like to serve as the 12th president of UOG. Well, it is time for Properties in the Tropics, brought to you, of course, by our friends over at RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. Here is this week's amazing piece of real estate.
Properties in the Tropics is presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Hafa-day, I'm Madeline Campos.
I'm Key Song.
And you're watching
Properties in the Tropics
with RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Have you been thinking of selling your home or real estate investment but have no idea where to start? Wonder no more. Contact your favorite RE/MAX Diamond Real Estate agent and we'll guide you through the process. The first step, a visit to your treasured property. We'll give you a free consultation and assessment. We'll prepare a comparative market analysis report or a CMA, share sold closed homes or comparables to determine a realistic list price. Once all the pertinent details are squared away, it's time to make your home shine. Having a RE/MAX Diamond Realty listing agent on your side will be sure to give your home the maximum exposure it needs and deserves. One of our specialties is to host a well-attended open house. Join us Saturday, February 4 from 2 to 5 p.m. for our open house on 1203 Roy T. Damian Street in the village of Mongmong Totu Maiti.
This two-story executive home is walking distance to Harvest Christian Academy. A landmark route, Roy T. Damian wraps around the village, with establishments such as Payless Mighty and popular rhythmic cycling studio Rocky Ride nearby. With over 2,600 feet of living space, this 4-bedroom, 3-bath home is perfect for your big family. Enjoy all the yard space in this fully fenced 929 square meter lot. 2 doors will greet you and lead you to this open living dining space. Memorable dinner parties and hungry tummies await in this well-built and functional kitchen. You will find a very spacious second living area for the family to cherish. In the primary room, you will find a walk-in closet fit for a Mr. and especially a Mrs. Last but not the least, enjoy some private time on the second floor balcony and get some of that fresh air. This property also offers a 2-car garage with added storage for all those extra toys and treasures. We know you will love a tour of this house. We invite serious and qualified buyers. February 4th, Saturday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We will have real estate experts on site, sweets and treats, and more tips from the pros. See you then.
Outstanding agents, outstanding results. That's us, Madeline Campos,
Key Song,
RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Hope you enjoyed our show. Catch us again next time for another episode of the hottest homes in paradise on Properties in the Tropics. I'm Madeline Campos.
This is Key Song,
RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Properties in the Tropics is presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
In one word, wow. That was a really, really nice piece of property. I may have to check that. I may have to get my my credit score. Please do the same if you're interested in that property and give our friends at RE/MAX a call. All right, it's never too late. That is the theme of a language summit that is coming up, and we want to tell you all about it. And it is never too late to celebrate, to love, to practice our beloved culture. We are talking to 2 wonderful Chamaritas when we return.
Hey, you want to order some Taco Bell? Two grilled chicken burritos, 2 bold flavors. Order on the app, only at Taco Bell.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
I can't make that amount work right now. What is this? Can I get new basketball shoes?
Buenas.
Can I please have $20 for my field trip?
I don't know.
Can I go to my friend's house after school?
Hafa-day.
We're all trying our best to make ends meet. The governor's childcare programs are helping businesses and working families care for Guam's kids. This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services. Visit guamchildcare.com to apply today.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victorious Fawn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
How deep do Pizza Hut's roots run in the islands? Through all the decades, we know what you love. Great taste at an even better price. Like our large 3-topping carry-out pizza for just $13.99. You choose your favorite toppings, meat, vegetables, or any combination that totals 3. Our $13.99 large 3-topping pizza. Order online and carry one out today. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Hotspot. You're watching us on YouTube, on Facebook, or KUAM TV8, and we certainly appreciate you doing so because an Indigenous Language Summit is coming up that promises to galvanize community discourse on the importance of doing what it takes to ensure that our cultures, Chamorro language, lives on for future generations. Two ladies that are instrumental, but part of many that are doing just that. Their life's work, if you will, are the two ladies joining me now on the KUAM couch, Dr. Lisa Natividad.
Buenas.
Very good to see you, Lisa. It's been a while.
Kungan, up man.
And Hope Cristobal, of course, the very cherished member of our island community. Auntie Hope, buenas. Very good to see you. Of course. But thank you for putting on this summit too, because there are some people that say, you know, I mean, this is not new information. Some people say, is the Chamorro language becoming less popular? Some people even go so far as saying, you know, it's dying. You know, it's only something that the older generation speaks. Obviously, that's not true. Maybe there is a smaller portion of the community that is fluent in you know, like the language of my grandparents. But when we talk about Indigenous language, Dr. Natividad, and everything like that, how do we contextualize that?
Well, I think the assertion that you just shared is absolutely true. I've been with Comisión Infinitumoro in the administrator capacity only for the past few months, and the more I've immersed myself in examining the state of our language, the word I really use to describe it is that of a crisis. It really, truly is a crisis.
And we've experienced several crises, like over the last few years. We had coronavirus, we've got economics and everything like that. Language is certainly right up there as well.
Yes, and it's a global phenomenon that's been acknowledged by the United Nations. They have recently adopted the International Decade of Indigenous Languages because Indigenous languages are disappearing from the planet at a very rapid rate.
And certainly, like, you know, Auntie Hope, we are biased because of our culture to native Chamorro, but I guess what Dr. Natividad was also saying, like, if you are a young, perhaps Irish or Scottish or Welsh person, do you really know how to speak like Gaelic? And so, like, that is the problem we face right now. So what are we doing to address that?
Well, first of all, you know, we do recognize the immense value of keeping Indigenous languages alive, and our theme is really to help revitalize the language. I mean, it's in Guam, we don't have very many anymore that we can call Chamorro experts, and so we're trying to expand our repertoire of people that can become a part of this ecosystem that includes all stakeholders and partners. And so this summit is really designed to bring people and part of our sponsors, and I want Lisa to talk about our sponsorship, because we do have collaborative partners from elsewhere outside of Guam, but we also invited the CNMI, which is one of our mandates in 5GCA Chapter 88, which reinstituted the Commission, and now we're taking it very seriously. When the legislature says you got to do this, this, and that, and we're on it. So We are excited about the summit, and we hope that our partners at the CNMI are going to be coming. I know at least 5 or 6 important people.
Yeah, so please scan the QR code if you are in any way interested in this, because it is very, very important work, as Dr. Natividad very effectively said. And Doc, I would say, given your academic background, you obviously know it's one thing to put together like a conference and have a dialogue, have a discussion, and then come up with a theoretical plan. Where the rubber really meets the road, I would say, is the execution of that strategy and moving forward. So what are you looking at in terms of like action items, like education campaigns, outreach, things like that?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time because our conference, it's 2 days, as was indicated on the flyer. We do have 2 keynotes who will be sharing. The first is Dr. Ken Cooper with the University of Guam, and he'll be sharing a study that he conducted exploring the state of the Chamorro language, as well as recommendations moving forward in terms of how we revitalize our language. We also have Dr. Rita Sablan, who will be coming from the CNMI, and she likewise has done a tremendous, her life's work really has been dedicated to language preservation in their context. And so at the tail end of our second day of the conference, we have invited a policy panel, which include our Lieutenant Governor, Josh Tenorio, as well as our Speaker of our legislature. We've also invited the Governor of the CNMI to discuss and to come up with how do we move forward and how do we get the resources that we need. There's a lot of existing ongoing stuff that's happening. We have dual language school at St. Francis, which is a project funded by the ANA to the Commission. We also have Fanizakan programs. We support the work of Hurao's cultural camp and school, right, the immersion programs. And so there's a lot of stuff that's happening out there. But part of what we're doing as well in our agenda is we are hearing from folks that have done this kind of work in other places, like Aotearoa or New Zealand with the Maoris.
So we have models with which we can learn from and then kind of adapt to our own environment.
Because they really were the first. And then in addition to them, the Hawaiians took note. And so we have some representatives from Hawaii as well who are language implementers.
And perhaps they can also share maybe some of the roadblocks that they also went through when they were going through their own journey, such that we would not make the same, setbacks, I guess.
Exactly.
Okay, now, Auntie, how do we actually sell this concept, to industry so that it can be implemented, like in the tourism industry, to educators, so it can, so it's not just part of the curriculum, you have to do it because you're told and everything, but young children really want to learn Chamorro and speak Chamorro, and and it's not just so you can have a conversation, with Nana and Tata.
Well, the Commission very early on conducted workshops to bring in liaison officers of various Government of Guam agencies, including the industry, if they would send someone, just to familiarize themselves with the orthography, because as you know, we use written language to transmit information, and so we need to find a cohesive way to get everybody on board. And so we conducted quite a few workshops to educate our people, and even at that, people were very excited to hear that now we have an adopted orthography, which we did, and we've produced booklets, and we've produced quite a few resources, and we get daily requests from our community, and we welcome inquiries from industry. As you know, we have Finu Ihaani every day in the newspaper. We have a word, and so and we provide the English as translations as well. We have many ways of, as a matter of fact, let me just enterprise on our new book that has just come out. It's called The Cultural Dictionary. So the boards decided to educate by, looking at some of these slang words. Say, for example, Jesus Chamorro always did Obascoba.
Yep.
And so what does that mean, and how do we apply that?
I know so many people use that for years. I had no idea what it meant.
Yes, so we have a cultural dictionary that you can download on our website, comisionchamorro.com, and you can learn a lot of our slang words. That's volume 1. We're working on volume 2, so it's a way to get to industry, So they too can start using some of these phrases and ways of saying. And especially, you know, Jason, you know, during election time, these kinds of sayings, burst of language come out of the blue.
Everybody's like trilingual when they're running for office, right?
Yes, right.
Oh, don't si Diyos maasi, maraming salamat po.
Yeah. Well, or
arigato gozaimashita.
Yeah, or you know, we have adages that we say a lot, and we need to make sure that those things which are passed on down to us from our ancestors, we need to understand the context. Say, for example, foci. You know, that has now become a brand. Yep. But actually, that is not the word that we discussed in the book. We talked about fakai. Fakai is to spread, to increase, to you know, spread equally, to balance it out.
Oh, and I didn't know that.
Yes, so it's a totally different. And so we need to educate ourselves.
Because I'm middle-aged, and you know, we grew up like using that in a very specific context.
Yes, but it's not the vulgar part.
Right, which is not that one.
Which is actually, we use that word in our novenas. So fakai the blessings, you know, which is spread out all the blessings, which is said in tomorrow.
Which for you young people, what Auntie Hope just said is probably making you laugh right now. But no, that is the proper use of the word. And
so
and
yeah,
the root.
we have quite a few resources.
Did you know that, Santa Rita Pete?
Yes.
You did? Oh.
I kept trying to tell you guys that fucker is used in a word.
Okay, yeah, Santa Rita Pete saying like this is a lecture he had with us youngsters many times.
You guys changed it also.
Yeah.
And actually, thank you, ladies, for also mentioning, you know, the importance of writing, and hopefully, you know, as part of our practicing our language and preserving our languages, you said documenting what we're going through, because that's something our people didn't have for like hundreds of years and everything, and it was kind of like a blight on us knowing who we truly are.
Absolutely, and I think that's been one of the main things of the Commission, is not only to discuss and approve an orthography that sets the tone in terms of the writing of Chamorro, but also other resource materials such as the Cultural Dictionary. We also have a Pictionary book, and we have other publications in hard that is available for free at the Commission. And so if you attend this conference, you certainly will be able to access those resources as well.
Okay, so real quick, let's talk about registration. Is there any cost, and what time should people show up, and do they need to bring anything? Are there, you know, what's the experience going to be like?
I think earlier, Jason, you had the QR code.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all that people need to access.
Okay, we got our new guy, Daniel, if you could bring that up once more so Auntie Hope can reference it. There you go. Okay. So there, February 10th and 11th.
So scan the QR code and register for free. We actually provide you free lunch as well.
This is face-to-face, right? This isn't like... Okay,
this is face-to-face.
This isn't a Zoom thing, okay. And,
no.
But for people off island and everything like that, certainly there will be materials available to them after the fact.
Yes, and just to clarify, there's been a change in venue. It will be at the Leo Palace Resort.
Oh, nice.
It's 2 days, face-to-face, lunch is included. There's no cost for attendance. It is a Friday and a Saturday, and part of day one, we will be visiting the Canoe House in Petey, which is part of our sponsors' contributions. And so the conference is organized by...
I love field trips.
Yes, we have field trips to the immersion programs on day one as well.
Oh, okay.
In the school systems, both Hurao and the Fenidzalkan at GDOE. And so our sponsors, of course, is the Commission is the primary sponsor with the use of ESF fundings from the Governor's Office. And in addition, we have the Pacific Indigenous Women's Network, who have assisted, as well as the Young Men's League of Guam and the University of Guam's Center for Island Wisdom.
All right, most excellent. So Dr. Lisa Natividad and former Senator Hope Cristobal, thank you, ladies, Sidus for everything you do. Very critical work.
Here.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's not a calling, it's not a job, it's a calling.
It's a life, yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much. Please stay tuned. There is much more show coming up right after this. Okay. That was wonderful. Yeah, we got everything out.
Yes, thank you.
Mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Hey, you want to order some Taco Bell?
2 grilled chicken burritos, 2 bold flavors. Order on the app, only at Taco Bell.
I can't make that amount work right now. Mom, what is it? Can I get new basketball shoes? We'll see.
Can I please have $20 for my field trip? I don't know.
Can I go to my friend's house after school?
Anak, hindi pwede.
We're all trying our best to make ends meet. The governor's childcare programs are helping businesses and working families care for Guam's kids. This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services. Visit guamchildcare.com to apply today.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
How deep do Pizza Hut's roots run in the islands? Through all the decades, we know what you love. Great taste at an even better price. Like our large 3-topping carry-out pizza for just $13.99. You choose your favorite toppings, meat, vegetables, or any combination that totals 3. Our $13.99 large 3-topping pizza. Order online and carry one out today. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam On Demand.
All right, everybody. Certainly entertaining. I love working with Dr. Lisa Natividad and, of course, Auntie Hope Cristobal. Equally entertaining is what's going on in Hollywood. So here is your Eye on Entertainment.
Welcome to Survivor 44.
18 contestants will compete to outwit, outplay, and outlast each other to win the $1 million prize on season 44 of Survivor.
My name's Danny. I am from the Bronx, New York, and I'm a firefighter.
The players include a New York City firefighter, barbershop owner, elementary school teacher, insurance agent, and a yogi. The show moves to the islands of Fiji this season, and Jeff Probst is back as host. The new season of Survivor launches Wednesday, March 1st with a 2-hour premiere on CBS and Paramount+. In the film The Locksmith, Ryan Phillippe plays Miller, a burglar who's just been released from prison. He's hoping to reconnect with his police detective ex-wife and their young daughter.
Do you have anything you're really good at?
Not really.
What about picking locks? Mom told me you were the best.
But before Miller can legitimately re-enter society, he's forced to commit one last crime that put his freedom and his daughter's life in jeopardy.
Are you out of your mind? I owe her. Not like that.
Kate Bosworth and Vin Rhames co-star. The Locksmith arrives in theaters Friday. And this week, DC Studios unveiled a plan to tell a single story that unfolds over 8 to 10 years, weaving through 10 film and TV projects. The lineup includes stories about Batman and his assassin son, Swamp Thing, and a new Superman story. It all kicks off with Gods and Monsters, which will feature some of the DC Universe's best-known superheroes to introduce fans to a new generation of characters. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
How old is Ryan Phillippe these days? Can someone Google that? Remember when he's doing Cruel Intentions? Oh, man, it seemed like a long time ago. All right, please stay tuned. We will wrap up the show right after this.
Properties in the Tropics is your weekly roundup of the hottest properties on Guam. Every Thursday, get a virtual walkthrough of homes, apartments, townhomes, and land available for lease, rent, or sale with a breakdown of the most important info, including cost, features, and of course, location details. Watch it on KUAM News Hotspot at noon on streaming and TV8 or catch the encore at 5 p.m. on TV11. You can also check out each installment on Instagram too. Properties in the Tropics is presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
We are back with just enough time to say goodbye. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.